me.
Hey! Hi, everybody. Let's do this, America. Hey, it is Sunday, August 2nd. We are live. Can you believe this? We're live. What are we're talking about stuff. Let's just bring the people in. We're just going to start chatting. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Dr. Jerry Tolbert, what's going on there?
Good. How's it going?
And you have your co-host there with you this evening?
Yes, I have Phoebe with me tonight.
Ah.
Hey, Phoebe.
Already reaching for the microphone. And, of course, our good friend, Dr. Kim Yu. Kim, how's it going there?
It's going awesome. Hi, Mike.
I
have this on my lap. I don't have Phoebe. I have Banana Minion.
Wow. 30 seconds in, and we already
have minions.
I know. Wow. She's already reaching for the microphone. Already. Look at that.
Yeah, it's got a big fuzzy thing on it, so that's why.
It's going to be a great evening.
All right, so our main topic that we'll get to is the 2015 AAFP National Conference of Family Medicine Residents and Medical Students, which Kim was at, which we'll get an update on. And we'll also go through some other updates, but if we do the Kim update, we'll take the whole show. Jerry, how's it going? Do you have any updates for our audience as I tweet out this show?
Actually, yeah, I just got back today. I've been commuting back and forth up to Gen Con, the big tabletop gaming convention up in Indianapolis. So I've been driving back and forth to Indianapolis and playing a bunch of games and hanging out with a bunch of the other Geek Dad folks. For those people that are just tuning in or don't know, I also, aside from being a family doctor, write for geekdad.com and do a lot of blogging there. And so I was up with those guys playing around with one of our own family physician husbands. Robin Lou's husband, Jonathan, is one of the managing editors, and he is he's definitely into tabletop gaming, and so we got to play a bunch of games and hang out. It was fun.
So jealous. So how long does it take to drive back and forth there, Jerry?
It's about an hour and 40 minutes or so. It's about 80 miles, basically. And so about the same distance for me to go there or to Louisville, or really almost to, I guess Dayton would be a better kind of estimate. Couldn't quite get to Columbus in that time, but it's not super far. I live on the western side of northern Kentucky, which means that it's right near Indiana, so it doesn't take me long to go right into Indiana.
All right, so Kim, before we get to AFPNC, which we're going to talk about, let's go back just a little bit to start out. So your Michigan meeting, you're now the big cheese, the big president. Congratulations about that. Tell us about the Michigan meeting.
Thank you. So we had our meeting last week, which was really fun. Yay! And I got installed as the 68th president for the Michigan Academy of Family Physicians, which is very exciting. I am also the 6th female president. I can hear Phoebe laughing. It's really great. And then I am actually the first Asian president to be installed. And it was a real honor to be installed by Dr. Glenn Stream, who also came to talk about health is primary in Michigan, but it really was wonderful to have him come to our meeting as well. So I'm very excited for the next year. It's going to be a great year.
It's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're going to share your agenda with us, Kim? Are you going to take over?
Oh, sure. I can definitely do that. Take over a couple of hours here with you, but I can show you the medal. You want to see the medal?
Ooh.
The president's medal.
Let's see the president's medal.
And I actually put it in a special bag just for Jerry, because I knew that he would appreciate this. And my computer's not working, so I have to kind of show you like this. But can you see the bag?
Not yet. Oh, it's a Wookiee bag.
Oh,
it's a Wookiee bag.
Nice.
So, in my Wookiee bag, it is actually a badge holder bag, like a pin tag that you can get at Disney. But yeah, you can see my my president's medal, and it has my name on it, and it says MAFP President 2015 to 2016. Here's my, can you see?
Oh, yeah, we can see.
This is a chapter president pin.
Cool.
And this is some of the other pins that just for this year. So
Nice.
I have to take care of this pin. I must not lose this one, apparently.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's frowned upon if you lose it, I heard.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. So in terms of agenda, one thing that I'm really hoping to be able to do is really look at membership. You know, Mike and I, we're on the Commission on Membership and Member Services. It's yay, rock on, with a lot of awesome people. And one of the things that we talk about a lot is how important it is to be able to increase resident membership. Now, several states have 100% resident membership in the American Academy of Family Physicians. Michigan, unfortunately, does not right now, but that's something that we'll be working on this year, and also looking at faculty membership, because we know that the faculty that work with our residents really do need to really show that they value their membership with the Academy and to role model that for the residents. So that's definitely something on my agenda.
Wow, that is very cool. And you know, I felt bad I could not be there for you.
I know.
Because we had our own meeting, and which we had a good time.
Let it be known that the Ohio Academy changed their meeting to our weekend first. We had that meeting set. You guys are always the weekend, like this coming weekend, right? Usually.
Yeah, we're usually the weekend. But next year we're going to be more deeper into August. So,
and next year our meeting is July 11th through 14th, and we're going to have the tall ships going through Bay City. So, it'll be fun. We had a great time.
So speaking of the Ohio meeting, did I hear something about a speak something? So tell me about that.
Yeah. So I did. Me and Stan Anderson, the speaker, we did such a great job that they reelected us to the same position.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And now
you rock.
There's a new running joke now that was started at the Ohio meeting that'll probably follow me through the rest of my career. So my good friend Stan, my friend, started off the meeting by he likes doing little jokey little things, and he introduced me as Magic Mike. So.
Oh, that's really funny.
Show us your moves.
Yeah, and big shout out to our good friend Rick Kellerman, who was there
it's like TMI,
to install, and he said he's going to include that in his report to the AAFP. So we had a great time, and Rick was there, and it's always fun getting together with your state. You know, and the people you hang out with, people you see, you know, all the time, so it was cool. It was cool. I know the Kentucky meeting I think is coming up in a few weeks, so I think that's in November. Maybe afterward. It's in November, I believe.
Yeah, it's in November. It's after everything, which is always funny. We're like the first ones after the conference. Say hi. Yeah. So yeah, I've got a couple of things that I'm helping with there in the panel stuff, and I'm one of the at-large board members now for the state of Kentucky, and
that's fantastic.
That was this year, and still got stuff coming up with the we're doing the grading for the for FMPC for the grant program. So we're working on that stuff right now. I've got to get all of those finished. I've been reading through them, and now I've got to actually start scoring them. So that's another big thing coming up here for the FMX. They will be meeting there and giving out the awards. Hey.
Whoa, very cool.
I'm not going to fly out all 5 of us to Denver, so we're going to be missing this year, but it'll be the first year. But but we're excited for what's going to be going on there, and I'll be there by phone a few times, so that'll be good.
So cool. So big shout out to the two people that are watching us live. We love you. We love you. We think you know who you are, but thank you for watching us, and of course people who watch us afterwards. So before we get into talk about the resident student meeting, I did want to just promote a couple of shows that are coming up a week from today, August 9th. Our good friend Kyle Hodebeck is going to come back on the Google Hangout with me. We're going to talk about Wonka Polaris. So stay tuned to the Twitter and to the Facebook, and you'll get updates on that. And in September, right before Congress of Delegates, our good friend Dr. Wanda Filer is going to be chatting with me. Maybe not on video, but definitely on audio. And we'll be talking about the Congress of Delegates and how awesome she is, and all that good stuff. So very exciting conversations that we're going to be. Oh, and Jerry has another guest. Who do you have there, Jerry?
Can we say hi, Ella? Say hi. She's waving.
Yay! So let's jump into this here, Kim. So you were the only person of the three of us, or the five of us, who were there. So what are your impressions, or what do you want to highlight? We're going to talk about this year's resident student meeting.
You know, the National Conference is always such an amazing meeting, and this was only my second meeting that I've been to. The last one was 2 years ago as convener for then NCSC. And this year I went purely for fun, just to enjoy the meeting, and it was really a wonderful experience to be able to hang out with not only the docs that we know, but also meet new medical students and residents, and really get them empowered and pumped up for family medicine. So it was a really great time. Things that I really thought were amazing was the opening session that Lauren Hughes moderated. They had three speakers, Karen Smith, and I'm blanking on names right now, but they were amazing speakers, very eloquent and really passionate about family medicine, and did a great job. I wish they had videotaped that opening session, because that would have been a great one to replay for everyone, actually. I think it would have been great. And, you know, when you're in a room full of 2,000 medical students and residents, it really brings home the fact that these are our future, and that the future really is bright. So there were some really cool resolutions that came through their Congress. They did things on, there was a resolution on police brutality, which was something that had come up at NCCL, but they also brought that back to National Conference as well and went through. Direct primary care was very big, and they also had some member interest groups on rural health, and the global health workshop was really hot. Like there were lots of people there for that. And for me, the most special part of it was being able to bring my kids to share in some of the fun, and to really get to see not only the expo hall, but to ask questions and to meet some of the people that we know, and it was just fantastic, really good.
Did they figure out which residency program they're going to go to?
No, not quite yet, but one thing that my daughter did do, I'm trying to do this, it's really quite hard without
I do like that shirt there, Kim. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, we got several shirts actually from the meeting. This is one of them, and on the back it says "BU." That was the theme, which I thought was really great, because I love that. That's like my
that kind of fits, with the name.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was like, be you yourself.
You just said say be Kim.
Yeah.
Because we all want to be like Kim.
No, not at all. But it was a really fun meeting, and one of the things that my daughter did, all on her own, I didn't ask her to do this, was she asked, I don't know if you can see this, I tweeted this, but she went around asking docs and medical students 2 questions. Why do people like family medicine, and what do people like about being a doctor? And some of the answers were just fantastic.
That's too
hope I can-
cool.
Yeah.
She did her own survey.
She did her own survey, which I thought
Now,
was
did she
really
get
neat.
did she get IRB approval for that, or is this?
Thankfully, no. But it was great. It was great. I mean, her favorite one was, let's see, because I love to see kids like you grow up happy, healthy, and successful, and hopefully to also be a doctor. But she had such a great time doing that and learning how to splint things and pick up objects from people's ears using a suction device. It was great. It was really fun.
And Kim, I also saw you tweeting out or putting Facebook pictures about IMG, or how was the IMG contingent there?
Yeah. There's a large IMG contingent at National Conference, and I don't know the exact numbers. That's probably something that we can find out. I'm going to close my computer before it falls off this table. But what struck me as I walked around the expo hall and met with lots of medical students were the sheer number of IMGs that were there, especially ones that went to the Caribbean schools, and some of the issues that really faced them were very poignant and really touching to me, especially because I am an IMG. I'm originally from England. And so hearing their stories of their difficulties to be able to practice medicine in the States was really, in some ways, quite sad and heartbreaking. And to hear their struggles to be able to work here and to bypass lots of things that they need to overcome. One thing that was interesting was there was a sign in the expo hall that said, IMG, stop here. And I thought that was really interesting. And I can't hear you anymore, so I don't know if you can hear me still or not.
We can hear you. I was just muted so
okay.
that if the girls yelled, you didn't get cut off.
All right. So one thing that I will share with you was this booth that said, IMG stop here. And it was from this company. I don't know if you can see it. It's the American Medical Residency Certification Board. And I don't know how legit they are, but they seem pretty legit. They said they work with the ECFMG, helping medical students from certain schools develop videos and materials so that they can sort of get the interest of program directors a little bit easier than the usual pathways. And so they said they've placed 17 people last year. I'm not sure out of how many. They're a brand new program. But I thought that was a very interesting and novel company. And, there's always a concern, is this a company that is really doing things for the benefit of the IMGs, or are they out just to make a quick buck? But on talking to them, I really do believe that they seem to be pretty legit, and their prices for their conferences seemed reasonable as well, very reasonable. So I thought that was a very good resource. At least there's something that we can offer some of the IMGs that are there. One thing that concerned me, and this is something that we need to really look at legislatively, is we have all these medical students who go to Caribbean schools, and some of the Caribbean schools are not on this California approved list of medical schools. And some of them were saying that if they're not from that California approved list, that they would not be able to practice in the state of Michigan, or that somebody is trying to decide that policy of not allowing people who are not on that list to practice in this state. And so from a state-to-state basis, there seems to be great variability and difficulties with really trying to figure out, if I was an IMG now, it seems very difficult to really figure out, well, which schools and which residency programs really do take which programs, and which schools. And so that was a question that I heard multiple times by IMGs to the residency program directors. Do you take medical students from this school or not? And to hear some of the real, to see the sadness and disappointment on some of these students' faces when they realize that no, their school is really not on that approved list.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's something that you're very passionate about. The IMGs, of course, making sense. And I know that you were taking photos of, and was there like a crossroads, or was there like a booth that I saw? There's something that said IMG on one of your photos there. Was that? You're
Yeah,
highlighting about there?
that was this group here that we're trying to get the IMGs to stop at their booth to try and help them create these videos. So that was interesting, and I met 2 doctors from Myanmar, about 10 doctors from Canada, a lot of U.S. grads, you know, a lot of U.S. citizens that went to the Caribbean schools. So there was one even from Frankenmuth, you know, where I work, that was really worried that because he went to a non-approved school, that when he comes back, he won't be able to practice in Michigan. And that's really sad, you know, if he's passed the same step exams and passed the same,
So,
you know,
so did they
everything, it
discuss
just
the
seems wrong.
justification? Did they discuss the justification for that list? I mean, is there a
I don't know what the
curriculum
justification
requirement?
is. I
Or
mean, one of the students said that they think it's because the medical schools that they went into are pretty new and that they haven't paid to get onto this list. But I don't know if that's true or not.
yeah, it'd be interesting to hear the actual justification for the list and if there are qualifications and those types of things, because I know in our residency program we set we set a fairly high bar, just because the curriculum in some of the Caribbean schools is not as consistent as it is in the U.S. schools. But if you look at U.S. schools, even, it's not that consistent sometimes. And so I think the
Right.
step exams are supposed to be what overcomes that. But if there's a sort of practical learning process that's not covered by the steps, I think that was one of the things that so many people were concerned about. Yes, you with the Minnie Mouse shirt. Can I help you?
You know, one thing that company, I'm going to try and see if I can find the piece of paper that's on the floor, because I don't have a desk in the basement here, that I found really interesting was this company does is they sort of interview the student testing. They even do the Myers-Briggs thing on them, and they score, you know, put all your scores down for the step 1, 2, 3, and all of that, and then when you actually got your certificate from ECFMG, and then they give you a sort of graded scale. They grade you on things like professionalism, presentation, information application, overall knowledge, attention to detail, communication, motivation, ability to relate, participation, and attitude, and they give you a score. And they actually help them on all those issues, which sometimes is something that I know some programs have issues with. So it was an interesting concept, I thought, that this company brought to help IMGs. But, you know, maybe there's something that we can really talk about at the next NCCL. What is it exactly, concretely, that we can do to help them?
I think we've talked about it a lot, and we need to continue to talk about it. But I think that a third party coming in and trying to help people, you know, polish themselves and really work on their application skills and all those things. And we've talked about doing it as the academy, and it seems like something that we should be a part of. But if a third party comes in and does it better,
right?
I mean, that's kind of how a lot of these things, you know, that kind of disruption is sometimes what it takes to get people really looking at it.
Yeah.
It's always great getting Kim's insights, because, you know, Jerry and I have been to this meeting forever, and Kim's only been a couple times, and just brings your kind of unique perspective on it, because that's stuff that obviously that I haven't even considered, but are important, and gets talked about every year, and
what I mean, one of the things that also came up was, you know, on the application to even go to national conference, there is an age, not an age limit, but sort of like a year barrier, where if you graduated before 2013, you really can't come to the meeting, you know. So there's some IMGs who maybe it took a few years. Maybe I spoke to one, and she had some issues with her family life and also her health that prevented her from graduating, you know, on time, but she still made the cutoff for this meeting. However, there's probably other people who are out there that didn't make that cutoff and were not able to come to the meeting. And so I feel for them, because there are sometimes life happens, and, you know, to be able to still get through medical school, even though it may take a few years longer, says a lot about a person, and I'm not sure how we can best deal with that, you know, to help support people who are non-traditional.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, other thoughts from the meeting there, Kim? I know.
Oh yeah, I got some cool things to show you because I just love showing you things. Look, I thought this was funny. I don't know if you can see this. This is like stress away. It's like oil that the people from the let me see, it says stress-free USMLE, the Institute of Medical Boards. So they have.
So it's a spray?
It's an oil. It's lavender, peppermint, and almond oil.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
So you can
some
like
type of
put it on your
homeopathic thing where it's just water with some schmutz in it.
No. It's really funny because it's just like this stress away smelling thing that you're supposed to apply to your temples, and it's supposed to help
directly to
you.
the
So
forehead.
I thought that was funny, and Duke did a really good job. They hand tattooed some clementines here, or is this a clementine or mandarin? So this was cool. And Lansano had I haven't tried it yet, but here, can you guess what this is?
It looks like lanolin.
Yeah, but it's not. It's really cool. Let me do this. It's a zip drive.
What?
Can't really see
Yeah,
it.
I know. But here, see?
Nope, still don't see.
Oh, you don't see it? Okay, here.
No, I see it.
Go towards your forehead. I still can't see it. There it is. Okay. There it is.
There. So zip drive.
Wow, that'll be banned next year.
And I know. And then there were a whole bunch of new T-shirts. So let me get those out for you. Oh, this is really cool. I love
thought
these.
all that good stuff was banned. I thought they put
No,
the
I'm
kibosh
telling
on
you.
that.
Look. Whoa. I
What
am
is
Jedi
that?
Master.
Wow,
Yeah.
look at that.
So for the celebration, they had it at the Midland Theater, and there was a very loud band that played, and people doing this, it was very cool.
All right, Kim. Our goal is to get that to NCCL next year. That's our goal. Because I mean, it's just
The flashing.
the flashing thing. It's the flashing
Okay.
thing.
I was gonna say we can
Very
make
cool,
that
right?
happen. That's easy.
Yeah, I thought that
you know,
was very.
Because I'm the convener, so. And
Make it so.
it's also
Make it
happening on
so.
May 4th, so I think we may be able
know.
to work some of that in.
So some of the health is primary T-shirts. So they got new ones. This one you've seen already, which is the Get More FaceTime. You've seen that one before, right?
Yes.
So now they have. Hold on. How can I do this easier?
Yeah, this is challenging.
This is hard to do. This is like when you have arms that are not long enough.
Don't you have a
Can you see
selfie
this
stick?
Ooh.
I do, but it's hard to hold this and a selfie stick. It says, "Love what you do." Can you see that one?
Oh yeah.
And then the other one says, I got this one. Community service. Can you see? Community service,
Yeah,
not fee for service.
Wow.
Which I love this T-shirt. This is my favorite T-shirt. And what was interesting was hearing from the staff at the FMA Health booth that said that the students and residents love what you do one, and this one was not as popular. But I really like this one because for me, I really want to be able to highlight some of the doctors that are doing community service in Michigan. So this is really kind of cool to see that.
Definitely, that's really cool. As somebody who is constantly looking for those kinds of opportunities.
Yep. And then the last one to show you is this one. Find joy in practice.
Wow. Yeah. So you got all of Tim, you got all of them? Gosh.
Buy all the shirts.
So there you go. That was really cool. And then I got this T-shirt too.
Wow.
So I think I have a T-shirt every day now for COD. But we have to wear suits. I can't even wear the T-shirt. So
Yeah.
maybe for the hospitality part.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, it was. I put it out on Facebook earlier, well, last week. That it was 15 years ago this week, or this meeting, that I ran for my first national office, and I can't believe it's been that long already. And that changed everything forever. It's been that long. It's just crazy. It's just crazy how things go
Yeah.
by that fast, Jerry. You know.
I know. My first was 12 years ago. 'Cause I'm
Wow.
about 3 years behind you. So
I did
Yeah.
NCSE 15 years ago. That was my first meeting, was NCSE 15 years ago.
Hmm.
So, but I never felt like I could go to a national conference, even though I'd heard about it as a resident. So, because I was from England and I was an IMG at that time, I didn't think I could go. So, it's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was cool, kind of seeing people. I think it was on Twitter, kind of reminiscing a little bit, and being excited about this year's meeting. And it's always fun, kind of seeing that. I'm sad I was here, but I felt like I was there. And but it's fun seeing the photos and seeing the commentary and seeing the new people very excited. It's always cool seeing the new people excited. And then the
Yeah,
people
we
who've been
had
there forever.
we had a med student, a fourth year medical student. His name's Philip So from Wayne State, and he ran for the student representative to the STFM board. And he ran last year, didn't get it, but this year, we talked about it, and he had such a great attitude and really had such a passion and energy about him that I think really rubbed through and showed through when he gave his speeches and he got through. And I was so happy and excited for him because I know that, I told him to just enjoy the ride because it's going to be such a great experience for him and all the people that were elected.
Yeah, exactly. Just looking forward now to Congress of Delegates and FMX, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be in Denver this year for people who don't know, and I'm going to be there the whole week. So, but technically, I won't be at FMX, kind of.
the unofficial official.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would have been that too, and that was just a lot to do, trying to get all three of the girls, my younglings there for something like that. It's especially when they're just turning 1. That's a lot of tricky travel. So not quite worth it. So since it wasn't going to be official anyway, I figured I'll save it up in the next year. Since I have to be there, which I want to be there, but since I have to be there, it will be great to be able to bring everybody then.
And that will be Orlando, right?
Yes, it'll be Orlando. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be one of those 2 birds, 1 stone kind of situations too.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'll be catching up on my SAMs, and so which is not technically part of FMX, but I'll be there like maybe doing the stuff, and then people are around in the evening to hang out. Then I'll be around.
He'll be mentoring.
So. Exactly.
Mentoring.
There's also the Global Health conference going on at the same time, weekend. So I haven't broken
to Cod to get it. I'm like, can't go. She's gonna be so mad, but.
But if you sign
knows.
up, for all those listening, if you sign up for FMX, you get $100 off to go to the Global Health thing. So I thought that was good. I have to miss I think Wednesday and part of Thursday because I have a workforce.
Oh yeah,
thing.
Super secret meeting. Kim's super secret meetings.
No idea. It's some workforce training thing about workforce. So I'm excited about that, but I'm kind of sad that I'll miss the opening session because those are usually really good.
Yeah. Let's see what else is going on here. There was this really cool story that I wanted to highlight. I just heard about. It's about this California, I think, student, Warren Yamashita from the University of Southern California.
Yeah.
So he won a scholarship to the meeting, and his flight, I guess he got bumped 3 times at LAX, and he couldn't actually come to the meeting. And so the California chapter highlighted this story where he gave his poster presentation to the people at the airport.
That's awesome.
And
I
there's
loved it.
and there's pictures of it, and I heard it was highlighted at the closing session, and the story is at the California chapter. It's actually on the front page at the California chapter. And you know, this kid, there's pictures of him. He's smiling. He doesn't look mad. He doesn't look angry. He gave a little statement to them and said, "Hey, you know, I was here. I was bumped, but I told my story to the airline employees and their families, talking about primary care, talking about family medicine." I mean, this kid, I think for the rest of his medical school career, he's going to be going to every conference for the rest of his medical school career, just like because he was such a good sport about it. I can't believe it.
They should have periscoped it and then just shown it at the
Yeah, that would have been
at
awesome.
the national conference.
Yeah, to me, when I read that, I thought that is totally ultimate hashtag #ShareFamMed. That's the new hashtag that
For sure.
we've been trying to promote, to tell people to share family medicine wherever they are, whenever, however, to just share it. And that was such a great story. I loved it.
And you know, there's always great stories coming out of this meeting. It's always fun as the residents trying to compete with each other on community service events, even like blood donation and other type of things. And it's always fun as they kind of banter back and forth.
Yeah, I think the students beat the residents on the blood giving this time.
Yeah, and I know I wrote down all of the election winners, but I
Can't find it.
can't find it because I'm a bad host. I'm the worst host ever. But it's always fun getting those real-time updates, and shout out to our good friend Reed Blackwelder, who was like, I think he was on the student side, and he gave all the updates, and it's always fun kind of seeing that. And Jerry's awesome. Look at that. That's like the funniest thing ever.
That's the hush, daddy, and take me to bed.
That's great.
Oh, let's see. I think that those are the main things from the meeting that I wanted to highlight there. I mean, there's so many other stories within stories there, but yeah, just another cool meeting, another cool year. Seeing all there.
We had such a great time at our Michigan Social. I know that a lot of the states have social time where they invite students and residents to come, and we had a lot of people come, the most people we've ever had at a Michigan social event. And I think that those type of events really help highlight how important it is to really have face time with students to be able to answer their questions, and that was great for them. So very fun.
Do you know, Kim, how many students were from Michigan this year? I mean, you guys fund students to go, don't you?
We fund students to go. We had funded probably around 6 or 7 to go, but there were probably about between 25 and 30, I think, that came from Michigan. Which was a decent number, but something that we can definitely work on improving for the future.
And of course, our good friend Kyle did the one word for family medicine for national conference, and it's up on Twitter and up on Facebook as well. And there's a lot of our Wonka friends who were on the AAFP-NC stream this year, kind of just chiming in and saying hello. And I think Kyle told me there was a meeting going on at the same time in Africa or South Africa at the same time. I was seeing pictures from that, so that was very cool.
That was very neat to see so many international people tweeting. I mean, I think they even dominated our top 10 mention list. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, they were taking over, which is kind of cool.
It
Plus,
is
I'm
very cool.
kind of embarrassed at the same time. Like, come on, people.
Sorry.
Make us look bad. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's cool. It's cool. I don't think I've seen that, but this is the first year I think I've seen a big number of people, like, not even at the meeting,
Right.
or even outside of the United States, sharing the hashtag. So it's definitely getting out there and catching on. And when they do these international Wonka events, I mean, the Twitter stream is just filled. And it's hard for me to follow. They're just so active, getting their story out there, which is fascinating, which is very, very cool.
It's very, very neat. I've been following a GP from England who is tweeting from a GP conference in England, and it's really interesting to see how things are different in other countries and how much more we can still do. I think that I must have been looking at things too much, because then on my Facebook feed, you know how they have sponsored links and things, suddenly I got this like family medicine in India thing that popped up, and it was like the top 100 people in India, and they're having some meeting and promoting it on Facebook, which I thought was really interesting. So.
Big shout out to our friend Dr. New, and he's tweeting out about that baby. That baby is determined to have at Dr. Tolbert eat his fingers, knowing the feeling. So we have fans. So Jerry, you don't have fans, but your kids already have fans.
That's not surprising. They're way cuter than I am.
And big shout out to Dr. New, because he gave an awesome direct primary care talk, and I saw the picture they tweeted out. Full room, standing room only. That's really telling me that the students and even residents now are really looking at direct primary care as a model, viable model.
Yeah, as somebody who's been in the center of that for a while now, I think it's definitely reaching critical mass. The thing that I would be cautious about is that means that it's going to get replaced soon. Isn't that always what happens? It hits critical mass, and then something else comes along that usurps it. You know, that's kind of the. Yeah, she did. That's kind of the way things happen, unfortunately. But no, it's really cool to see it hitting critical mass, and we'll see kind of what comes out of that, and what new styles of direct primary care are going to be kind of the thing. You know, it's an ever-changing, multi-headed hydra of a way of dealing with things. But as with everything else, it's cool to see that hit critical mass and be a more accepted way of doing things.
That's definitely something that was on the minds of the residents. They actually had several resolutions that went through on direct primary care and wanting links to places that might have direct primary care where they could go for training or whatever. They wanted more information about it. And you're right, that direct primary care workshop was full to the brim, and way out in the hallway it spilled out over. And when we did the DPC talk in Michigan, the same thing happened there. There was a lot of interest with our workshop panel. And I think that there really will be more different models of payment, that the students and residents want more information on different payment models that may come up in the future, and I know that's something that the Academy is looking at.
Well, plus I know 2 or 3 weeks ago there was an AAFP sponsored DPC summit, I believe in Kansas City, which there was some Ohio people who went to that as well.
That was supposed to be really, really big.
And
I think it was sold out.
Just at our meeting, 2 weeks ago, our good friend Ryan Kaufman, who you guys know, said he's going to start his DPC practice coming up next year. He was at that summit, and he announced that he's going to do it, and he's our president-elect. So it's going to be very, very prominent, and
very cool.
Be interesting to see how our state academy kind of plays that, because it's been the opinions have been back and forth. But it'd be nice to, and I'm trying to push it a little bit to have him be highlighted as going through this process, kind of being the guy and saying, hey, this is what's happening with me personally, and I don't know, even people on our board who are looking at that as well, and or are doing it. So it's definitely a model that cannot be ignored, and something that's definitely going to be talked about, especially because students and residents are kind of pushing that as well.
Mm-hmm. And I think for now, a lot of people are actually looking at it in terms of having a hybrid model, so they'll have their regular practice with a DPC added onto it, and that seems to be a little bit more of a viable option for a lot of people, where you don't have, you really have to have quite a large panel for it to work, to get that many people to buy onto DPC. So having a hybrid model seems to work a little bit better for most.
So real-time feedback from our good friend Dr. New.
I just saw that too.
DPC Summit, 320 docs from 45 states. So there you go. So, more real-time follow-up. 80% in planning phases of starting a DPC practice. Wow.
Wow.
I mean, it's the natural backlash against insurance and restrictions and all those things. My biggest concern is that it is we're going to start running into more. The thing that and this is not me being negative Nelly. I think it's an awesome idea. I did it I still kind of do it. It's just the corporate version of it. But the thing that I worry about is we've already keep talking about these shortages, and we're going to start running into people that to do true DPC, you have to opt out of Medicare. It's really, really hard to stay in Medicare and do DPC because of the regulations. And so who's going to take care of all the Medicare patients? And that's going to fall into that crack of, what are we doing to accommodate that? And that's where these hybrid practices come in. It's really, really tricky. And so making sure everybody's on the right pages and making sure that it doesn't get shot down before it becomes a thing, which is what I hate to see that happen, because I want it to be, pick your practice style, pick the way that does best for you, pick the thing that goes with how you want to be, what you want to do, and do it. That's always kind of the way family medicine has been to me, is, you can tailor it to fit what you want to do if you really want to, streamline, or if you want to go broad or whatever. And so, but my biggest concern, and it was a sticking point for us, we had some issues with lots of Medicare patients. Like to completely opt out is really difficult because you can't do much else. And so if you're building a practice from scratch, if you're not doing a hybrid practice, you really are limiting the number of new patients that you're going to get, and you can't moonlight in places that are going to take money from Medicare, because when you're opted out, if the institution that you are working for takes money from Medicare, you have to be part of Medicare. So it is a big, big, big deal. And so, and we more real-time feedback there. The Medicare pilots, I know that, and I've seen a lot of those, and that's part of my cautious trepidation, because when the government gets their fingers into things, it devolves. That's what happened to insurance, and so I'm afraid that DPC may get that same kind of treatment. And that's the thing that we've got to really be careful about right now. It's a minefield, and it is not going to be easily resolved. And these are the growing pains of these new systems. So I know it's gonna come out the way that it's gonna come out. I'm not worried about it. You start thinking about these things as you see them, as you get into them personally, and that's the thing that I've, with this big influx, because like I said, when it hits critical mass, you get this sort of, it's kind of like a true nuclear reaction. You get, it's a little bit off the charts, and that's kind of what's happened here. Is it was little bit, and we just hit off the charts, and that's when it really hits public notice, and that's when you start to see. It's kind of like putting a drug out into the wild too. You put it out for 500 people, or for 1,000 people, or for 2,000 people, and you get a handful of side effects. You put it out for 2 million people, and all of a sudden people die. And I know that's that's the extreme example, but the same idea here is you've got this thing that in small scale looks really, really, really good, and in some cases is phenomenal. But I'm afraid that we're going to start finding some of these cracks, and we just need to fix them and be prepared for them and be ready to step up and actually do the work to make it work. And I think there are a lot of people that are in that boat. We just got to be ready for it.
And I think, the academies really try to help people get involved, and, for those interested in it, if they can join the member interest group for the direct primary care, that's one of the fastest member interest groups that we have at the academy, going and joining the online community for the MIG, and also attending FMX, show the t-shirt again, yay, and I have here, it says, you are so worth it.
You are so worth it. Join the conversation at the member interest group for direct primary care at FMX and get your questions answered there. Hear from real people that are getting it done.
Yeah, just. I mean, it's such a fast-moving thing, and it's things are changing, and it's state by state, and it's really really hard to get a hold of. I've been hearing about it for a while, and I was kind of at some of the first summits as an observer, kind of seeing some of that, and now that it's coming more and more mainstream, and more people are talking about it, and big national organizations are taking hold of it and having discussions. It's been a really interesting process. But as Jerry said, I mean, if the government kind of gets their claws in this, then what's going to happen? And people are just going to move on to whatever the next model is without the government. So it's just
right, and that's the problem. It's the Wild West model. It's kind of like the internet. It's the Wild West of practice, and that's the thing that we've got to be very very careful of, is because that's the time when huge innovation can happen, but it's also the time when you can implode instead of exploding the way that we hope to. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kill the conversation. I wasn't trying to be a big negative Nelly.
It's
just one of those things that having been there.
I love these conversations, and maybe at some point we can invite more people in to be.
Oh, for sure. I think bigger brains than ours.
Exactly. That's one of the things I want to try to do with whatever this thing that we have is to have people join the conversation. So Kim, anything else from? Anything else from AAFP NC?
Yeah, they have this big Health is Primary booth, and they talked about it, and so I'm very excited because they're coming to Detroit. October 21st, we're going to have Health is Primary City Tour here. So that was something that was really highlighted at National Conference as well, and very exciting. We're excited about it. It's going to be great.
So I assume, maybe I'm not assuming, maybe I'm poorly assuming that state chapter is involved in that and planning and all that stuff with the Health is Primary folks and that type of thing.
The staff at the Michigan Academy of Family Physicians, and also we have someone who has volunteered a lot of time, Luis Delgado, who is an amazing pre-medical student who has done public health and wants to go to medical school, is taking his MCATs, I think, this week, and he helped us out and really looked at all the different stories, has compiled a lot of stories and lots of different practices from around the state, and given those to the FMA Health Board, who will be deciding what stories get chosen and all of that. But Dr. Glenn Stream and T.R. Reed will probably be in Detroit, and we're looking forward to them being here.
Cool. What are the dates on that? Is that before?
October.
What's after?
Yeah, it's after October 21st.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, maybe we'll bring you back and have you
awesome.
have you promote.
Yay, yeah. And actually, Detroit must be happening because the NMA is actually here right now this week, and we have, I think, 3 or 4 surgeon generals here right now in Detroit, and I know Dr. Orgain is on her way here, and I believe our president, Dr. Bob Wergen, is also maybe coming too, but that was really cool to know.
Wow.
So Detroit is happening. We're happening in Detroit.
It might be not happening that may be making it because we're kind of strapped for cash. So.
Well, the Motor City is buzzing. That's cool. And even ASAE is coming to Detroit this year, so pretty cool.
Wow, cool. Let's see. So we did touch a little bit on COD and FMX. So we've already talked about some issues like direct primary care. We've talked about some potential resolutions, or there's even some resolutions on deck on there already. I think I haven't looked at them yet. But the resolutions from NCCL, and I'm starting to see some resolutions from states, so that's going to be very interesting to see. Kim, what do you think big topics are going to be coming up? I mean, mean, we're 2 months out, but what do you think?
I think we're still going to see people talking about the direct primary care. We've got people talking about alternative payment models. We've got people who want to talk about police brutality, and the ACA, and maybe funding of undocumented immigrants, care, making sure that they have health care. So I think those are issues that are very hot and pressing right now. What else, Jerry? What else do you think will come up?
It's going to be interesting to see. The landscape is so amorphous at this point. I mean, we've a lot of the big hot button issues, and I don't want to say this, they're not settled. That's a bad way to put it, but they have cooled off some, and so you've got these new issues that are kind of springing up. I think the police brutality and the pushing for equality, that's never going to go away. But it's there have been such significant strides, I guess would be able to put it, and then that even that sounds too bad. It sounds like we've done something that we haven't. It's almost like the issue has been diffused a bit, I guess would be a better way to put it. There was a lot of tension. The tension's not there. It's still an issue. It's still something that needs to be resolved. It's still something that we need to work toward every single day. The equality issues, the avoiding and encouraging people to be nice to each other issues. I mean, I think that's what this police brutality thing comes down to, is don't treat everybody differently, treat everybody the same, but treat everybody well. And I think treating everybody the same sometimes gets a bad rap, but if you do it well, that's what we're supposed to do. So I think that's going to be a thing. I think that's really going to be where all of this kind of culminates. Is instead of it's Wheaton's law. It's not something that is this abstract concept. It's real. It's be nice to everyone. And so I think that's going to be that will sum up a lot of what we talk about. I think one of the big things that's going to come out of the discussion is this idea of payment models. Now that we've now that the SGR is gone, what are we going to do?
Right.
I think that's going to be a lot of the conversation. Whether that is a big kind of chunk of the conversation, because we're not going to be able to do much with that. We can resolve to lobby about things, but I don't even think we know what the right idea is at this point. And I think it's going to be, this year's going to be a little bit quieter about that kind of stuff because there's just nothing to say yet. But honestly, if you pin me down, and you can tell this because I'm rambling, I don't know. I really don't know what the issues are going to be, because there's not. I mean, other than these sort of social issues that are going on, I don't see a lot going on in medicine that is as kind of impactful. That is something that we can actually that we can make an impact on, other than these social issues things. And I think maybe that's what this year's going to be about. Social issues.
I think there was a couple of resolutions that came out this week that were about ensuring that we continue our ties with NMA and the Latino Medical Association, making sure that we have good, concrete conversations with other organizations to increase diversity in primary care, and to continue that discussion with those people at a very high level. And so I'm hoping that those resolutions that came from National Conference will definitely go forward.
Big thank you to Dr. New, who went on to watch Homeland. Really? He's going to watch Homeland?
Okay, bye.
Come on, man. You're killing
Bye, Dr. New.
I saw that earlier when he posted it. I was like, okay, fine, whatever.
And he said he'd be open to coming on and talking about DPC and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe we'll extend an invitation out for him before Homeland.
Great.
So
yeah, we'll have to start at like 8:45 instead of 9.
Yeah, exactly. And a big shout out to our good friend Dr. Lloyd. He knows who he is, and I know he's watching
another monkey
because he took a screenshot of me doing this. We should get him on here and just chat about
when you're playing with the baby.
Whatever.
Yeah, social determinants of health is something that he said. Yep, that would be a good one.
All right, so yeah, I think we've been gabbing it up here for an hour. I think so. I think we're done. Anything else that we forgot to mention about anything that's going on? I guess we should mention Kim's world tour that happened before all of that. You went
Yes,
to
I
like
had a
15 different
wonderful time.
countries. You were on a cruise. Like
No,
what
it
what
wasn't
what happened there, Kim?
15. Okay, so initially I went to Denmark and I spent 10 days in Denmark and Sweden, drove up to Sweden because my son wanted to go visit Mojang, the place where Minecraft was created. So I am the best mom ever. I drove my son and my daughter all the way to Stockholm and we visited Mojang. And then we went back down and visited Hamlet's Castle in Denmark and Legoland, the first original Legoland.
Anything rotten
And
there?
oh, something rotten there, smelling or something. I can't remember the line.
There's something rotten in the state of Denmark.
Yes. My Hamlet's not that great. I did science, can't you tell? Anyway, it was really fun. It was a great trip. We took a cruise from Denmark to Norway, Iceland, and Scotland, and ended in England where I got to see my family, which was great, and a lot of my friends. And we visited Wales and went to the Doctor Who, as you can tell, the Doctor Who exhibit, and had a lot of fun. In Cardiff.
Okay.
It's in Cardiff. It's in Cardiff. It's really great, sort of big bubble where they have a walkthrough thing that you can experience what it's like to be in a Doctor Who episode, and there's weeping angels and there's Daleks and everything, and you have to find crystals, and at the end of it they have an exhibition with all the different costumes and Daleks and whatever TARDISes that they have from all the different shows, and so that was a highlight for us. I got to see Downton Abbey, which was really wonderful, and also got to go to the Globe and do some really neat things. So went to my first proms, which was really exciting, and really enjoyed my time in England. It was really good, too short.
Yeah, we all lived through Kim, just on Facebook.
Vicariously, yes.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry, I've been to the mall.
Hey, speak for yourself. I just did a True Dungeon and played a bunch of board games and went to a concert where Double Clicks and John Scalzi and Patrick Rothfuss and Paul and Storm.
I have no idea who those people are.
They're a bunch of nerdy performers. So Molly Lewis. So there's a bunch of folks that sing. Paul and Storm and the Double Clicks are singers, and then and Molly Lewis, and then the John Scalzi and Pat Rothfuss are both authors, and they came out and did some dramatic readings. It was fun. It was a fun concert we went to 2 nights ago, and then last night the True Dungeon thing was really cool. That was that's kind of like a I was performing Itsy Bitsy Spider for us. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. Do you need a moment? So the True Dungeon was kind of a live action role play kind of thing where you go in and everybody has a role, and there are lots of puzzles and stuff, and you fight monsters. Not really fight monsters, but it was fun. It was hanging out with a bunch of the geek dads and actually getting to meet some folks that I've only talked to in internet. On the internet, I guess I should say. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, no, I had fun. So how was the mall?
You ride your bike there?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that was that's my awkward pause. No, yeah, biking, and I joke with my office staff that I go biking and then I go biking, which is code for going to the winery. I was going to say the winery is involved in that one, the second one, right? It's been a good summer. So I mean, I wasn't in England, in my mind I was.
Where's Mommy?
France, right? It's a winery, right? So you're going
exactly. All right. Anybody got anything else? Where you close this puppy up?
Keep your eyes on geekdad.com. There may be some fun stuff showing up there here in the next week or so that I'm involved in. There's a bit of a kind of 3 or 4 minute blurb kind of web show thing that we're working on called Ask Dr. Geek Dad that's hopefully going to start showing up this week. They decided it was a good idea to take advantage of having a doctor on staff. So. Right. No, actually, we all kind of came up with the idea together, and it was something that I've been wanting to do for a while, so they gave me an outlet for it, which is good. So it's good to have an audience baked in. But that's coming up. I think that's the big thing. Got some other stuff in the works. Mike and I have talked in the past about the free clinic stuff that I've been working on, and I figured out that the government was pretty thorough in the way that they endorse free clinics. Thorough enough that the words FQHC have been tossed around, or the letters FQHC, and this is Ella's tongue, have been tossed around for a while. So now we're talking about, the process to get the malpractice insurance for the free clinic isn't that far different from actually creating the grant for the FQHC. So why not, if that's our goal? So it's something I'm looking at. We'll see what happens. I've been talking to folks and trying to get all the ducks in a row for next year, so we'll see. But yeah, lots of fun stuff happening. And the twins turn a year old in about a month. So about a month from tomorrow. So got birthdays, and then Ella turns 3 the next month. So yeah, lots going on right now in the Tolbert house.
And we've got hashtag ShareFamMed that we'll be rolling out over the next couple of weeks too. And I have my mini med school that will be starting soon. So we're finishing up on mini med school for my elementary school kids that will
What
be
is that
taking
about?
that class.
Tell us about that. Tell us about the
So,
mini med school.
Mini med school is something really fun that I've been looking at doing for the past couple of months, and it's actually a year-long program where I'll be teaching elementary age kids, 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th graders, to really get them interested in medicine and to really teach them lots of different cool things that we do as family docs. So the first semester is a year-long program. The first semester is a once-a-week class, and the first semester is pre-clinical stuff. And then the second semester is clinical stuff, and they'll learn how to, take blood pressures and pulses and basic first aid and some really fun things. At the end of the year, they get a white coat and a certificate and a stethoscope, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm very excited about it. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm hoping that this is a program that, eventually could be rolled out and maybe duplicated, something similar to Towers or something, maybe not as extravagant as that, but, just something that someone could do in their community to help increase interest in primary care and especially in family medicine, because we know that a lot of people make that decision when they're young. I decided to be a doc when I was 8 years old, and if we can get them young, I think we've got something good.
I wanted to be a stand-up comedian when I was 8.
You are.
I know.
Great.
Oh man. And I will be coming up this weekend. I'll be in Toronto. I'll be speaking at the American Psychological Association with our good friend Ben Miller and Carrie Sparling, a patient advocate. And so we'll be talking about the intersection of mental health, primary care, and patient advocacy. So we'll be tweeting that out coming up this weekend, and coming up right before Congress of Delegates, my good friend Dr. Jay Lee, he's the man. We're going to be speaking at the Asian Pacific AMSA National Conference. It's going to be.
I'm so jealous.
Is that in Hawaii?
I wish it was. No, it's going to be in...
It's in California, I think.
Yeah, UC Irvine.
Well, still, that's actually... The weather's still just as nice.
They have palm trees there.
He's the keynote. He's keynoting.
Nice.
He's the keynote guy.
Well, he's the president. Come on, you got to make
Exactly. And he's Jay Lee, so come on.
That's true, too.
And so he gave him my name, and they contacted me. I'm like, sure, yeah, come on.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I'll be out there, doing my little social media family medicine dog and pony show thing, and sitting on a panel talking about primary care with Jay and 2 other docs from their organization there. So that's going to be right before Congress of Delegates. So that's going to be fun. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. Because family medicine, we rock basically.
That we do.
All right, kids. You got anything else? We should. I say this every damn time. We should do this more. And we are. So Sunday, August 9th. I think we picked out 7 p.m. Eastern time. Kyle Hodebeck will be here, our good friend from Wonka Polaris, and I'll probably forward you guys some invites too if you guys are available to come in and chime in and say hi to Kyle. And then coming up, I forwarded out a lot of invitations to chat with me. So please
Awesome.
please say yes.
Don't make him beg.
Please come and talk to me. And you said talk about family medicine. Yeah, that's all you got to talk about. Talk about why family medicine rocks. You know, all the good stuff there. Hopefully, generating some buzz going into COD and FMX, talking about primary care and family medicine. So I forwarded some invitations out there, and hopefully people will want to come on and talk about family medicine. So.
Awesome.
Anything else, kids? You got anything else? Hey, shout out to our 3 viewers. 3 viewers live.
And one of them even left.
I know. We're gonna build this up here, kids. We're gonna join the hashtag.
I think that's 2 more than last time, right?
Exactly. You know, hey, if people
Last
get on
time
the
we
ground
didn't make it
floor.
past the intro screen, so.
So sign up for Denver, people. At least come to COD. It's free.
All right. Anything else? Anything else you want to talk about or anything? So,
Good night, Gracie.
Jerry, it's geekdad.com. Is that? That's where
Yeah, geekdad.com, and we were actually just during this show. I got a message there. We're trying to figure out when we're going to start running that. Hopefully, like I said, it'll be this week, and we're going to try to get the video up. I cut the video last week and got all of the fancy intros and all that stuff done. We shot it a few weeks ago. This one is about the first one's going to be about sun safety as a teaser, and so we had to wait for a sunny day, and it rained for like the whole month of the end of May, beginning of June. So and then it took me a month to find enough free time to actually get it all cut and put together, but it's done and uploaded, and we're just trying to figure out the best way to roll it out. So geekdad.com, and then just keep your eyes out for Ask Dr. Geek Dad.
Cool. And Kim, everybody should follow you on Twitter. How should people follow you on Twitter?
Yes, at DRKKYU, and I have 2 hashtags for hashtag ShareFamMed and also hashtag InspireCreateLead that we're still using. So look forward to speaking to you next time.
Yeah, Dad, tell us the origin of the Inspire Create Lead. Didn't you steal that from somebody, or did somebody steal that from you?
Well, actually, that was something that was created by a very good friend, my FM BFF, Dr. Tina Tanner, and she was my awesome speech coach, as we like to say, when I was running for convener, and she helped me coin that term, Inspire, Create, Lead. And it was so popular that the next year the AAFP changed it to Inspire, Lead, Create, or something like that. So that was very cool for NCSC.
And then I changed it to Wrangle, Innovate, Navigate.
Oh, very cool. Like it. But that's a long hashtag.
So we could all win.
Oh, love it.
Win-win-win. Hashtag win-win-win.
Whoa, I'm so stealing that.
Wow. Breaking news. Audio Digest is following me on Twitter.
Awesome. Awesome.
That just happened. Providing high-quality, convenient, affordable, and medical education since 1954. So shout out to Audio Digest.
That's awesome.
I apologize for all the tweets that you're going to be getting.
In advance.
All right, kids. I think we're done. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. Of course, I'm Dr. Mike Sevilla, drmikesevilla.com. Follow me on Twitter. Shout out to all my new Twitter friends who are following me from AFPNC, like another 200 of you out there. You guys are awesome. I know.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, that's it. So we'll see everybody else.
Thanks so much, Mike.
Say bye, everybody.
Say bye.
Bye.